I begin with what Greg Cody foretold.
Oh, my gosh.
The most lopsided basketball series of all time. Ernie Johnson said this might be the worst game I've watched. Do you know how much basketball that man has watched? You have Cody saying it's the worst loss since Marino goes out 62-7. You've got Donovan Mitchell saying we had to finish our breakfast, which is just a great quote. They came in here up 3-0, and at the half, they're up by 1,000,000 points, and he's telling the team we've got to finish our breakfast. We got lunch and dinner later in these playoffs. Let's get rid of breakfast, these sausages. But the thing that happened that was my single lowest moment in the last 15 years of Heat basketball is hearing on the radio laughing broadcasters of the Cleveland Cavaliers saying, Ty Jerome hits a jump shot at the buzzer from half court, and they're laughing. And to make it 111-63. And then this was the lowest moment. Ty Jerome, a typhoon in Miami. And I'm like, that's it. The Heat are done. 15 years of wonderful Heat, done, over. Dies in a typhoon as a 10 seed.
Shout out to Tim Alcorn, play-by-play man for Cleveland Cavaliers radio. No, Dan, it was incredible because you mentioned that play, and somehow the Cavs extended the lead after that. Every single quarter, it got worse. We kept waiting for, like, okay, you're up a zillion, and then at some point, like, the bench guys get in, and then the bench guys are like, oh, I got to prove to Coach Spo I deserve to play. And it got worse. We were joking last night, said it took the Heat getting down 50 for Duncan Robinson and Jaime Jaquez to get in. And then they managed to play worse than the guys that they replaced.
So this is the historic stuff that happened. The 122 points, the largest difference ever in a 4-game series. The 122-point differential between the Cavs and the Heat. The 55-point loss, it's fifth worst in the history of the sport. And it's the first time that a team has lost back-to-back games by more than 30, playoff games by more than 30 points. And they did it at home. Like, it's not just that it happened. It's the first time it's ever happened, but it happened to them at home. So that is the worst punctuation on a Heat season there has ever been.
Dan, they were down 60 at one point. It took Nikola Jovic having like a hot streak at the end. He hit a couple threes, had a put-back layup. That's what got it to 55. At one point, they were down 60, which would have been the largest playoff loss in NBA history. And also, it was approaching the worst loss in NBA history, which I'll give you 3 guesses. Who has that one? Who has that record? It's a local team. They lost by 68. Because I heard Eric Reed talk about it on the air. He was talking about, I remember that game.
1991.
He went into great detail how they lost by 68.
Do you know the indignity and insult it is that Ernie Johnson has called as much basketball as he has, and he says that that's the worst thing that he's ever seen?
Can we remember this feeling, though? Like, can we bottle up this feeling that we're feeling today and remember this in the offseason when there will be trade speculation and everyone under the sun will be fighting to get to the Heat, and every superstar, Giannis, will want to come here, and Kevin Durant will want to come here, and everyone will want to come here in our heads. And we will decide, you know what? We don't want to part ways with Alec Burks to get, Kevin Durant. We don't want to part ways with Davion Mitchell because we don't want to get rid of Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero. Like, can we remember today and remember this team just wasn't good enough, and you need to get rid of some pieces to bring people in?